Hi everyone, in today's session we will be seeing multiple loops. So why we are using a loop? Suppose if we have to repeat some process, we will be using a loop. So what will be multiple loops? It means inside a loop you can have another looping structure. So we will see some examples or real life examples of multiple loops, and then we will see a example using C. So think of a scenario where you are going to attend a class. So in a single day, you will be attending multiple sessions, multiple lecture sessions. Say maybe you are attending 6 or 7 lectures in a single day. So the process of attending the class is repeating multiple times a day. In a single day, you are going to attend it for say 6 or 7 times. So it is a repetitive process. And your classes are not going to end in one day, which means for a whole semester you are going to repeat that process again and again. So that is an example of a loop in loop. Or I will give another scenario. See, consider a cricket match where say you are a bowler. So what you are going to do? When you go to bowl an over, you are going to deliver 6 balls. Okay. So say like if it is a loop for, we can have ball equal to 1, ball less than or equal to 6, ball plus plus. What is the process you are going to do? You are going to bowl. That's the process you are going to do. And in a single over, what you are going to do? In a single over, you are going to bowl 6 balls. Supposing it is all legal deliveries. So this will do just for 1 hour, and in the case of a cricket match, he can bowl up to 10 overs. So for overs is equal to 1, overs less than or equal to 10, overs plus plus. What does this mean? So when he comes to bowl the first over, he is going to bowl 6 balls, which is a repetitive process. And when he comes to bowl the second over, again he is going to repeat this repetitive process. So a repetitive process itself is being repeated multiple number of times. There will be different scenarios or many scenarios where we will be using this. Okay. So now we will see a pattern and check how we can develop it using a multiple for loop. So let us consider this case. What you have to do is you have to display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a single line. So what you can do? You can write a code like this. For j is equal to 1, j less than 6, j plus plus, and you are doing print of percentage d j. Okay, it's a simple thing, a simple loop. So as there are printing statement which is occurring multiple number of times, you are going for a loop. There is a 5 print statement, so you are using a loop over here. So this output I am calling it as say R, and this is the code for generating the output R. Okay. Suppose if my desired result is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose this is your desired result. Okay, so we have considered this as R, which means our desired output is R, R, R. I have to display 3 R's in different lines. So what will be the code? We will be writing for I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and I have to display R, and then I have to display print /n for moving to next line. So this will be the code for printing R. Okay, what is R? R is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how you can generate R? This is the code for generating R. which means instead of this R, you will be replacing the code for generating R, which is nothing but for j is equal to 1, j less than 6, j plus plus, printf %d space j. So this is the code for generating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have repeated it 3 times. I hope the code is clear for you. Now we will see what are the informations we can infer from this output or from this code. So you are having a output like this, and this is the equivalent code for generating that output. So you can see it is just like a matrix. You are having some rows and you are having some columns. So you can see there are 3 rows and 5 columns. Now you can see the coding part for that. You can see this loop is actually working for how many times? It is working for 3 times. And what about this loop? J starts from 1 and it goes up to 5. Or from 1 to 5 the condition is true, which means this loop is working for 5 times. So one thing you can infer is that the outer loop is actually controlling the number of rows and the inner loop is actually controlling the number of columns. Okay. Now we will make some variations to the code and we will see how it is going to affect the output. Okay, so now we have displayed the value inside j, and every time the value is getting changed, it is updated by 1. Okay, you can see here there is a modification and the new value will be displayed. Okay, so you can see in a single row, if the value is being changed, the updation should be inside the inner loop. That is the second thing we are going to infer. In a single line, if the input is going to change or the output, the printed value is going to change, the meaning is that the variable controlling this value should be updated inside the inner loop. Now we will see how this code will change if I am displaying I instead of j. We will see the output for that. So I is equal to 0, 0 less than 3, condition is true, it will come over here. This loop is going to work for 5 times, and all the 5 times the value of I is going to remain as 0. So the output you are going to get is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 times you are going to get that. Then by printing slash n, the output will come to the next line. I value will be incremented, I value will become 1, 1 less than 3, condition is true. Again the inner loop will get initiated. So again this is going to run for 5 times, and all the 5 times I value is going to remain as 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and in the last iteration it will be displaying 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So what you can infer from this? See, this variable we are printing is updated in the outer loop. If a variable is updated in the output in the outer loop, and if we are having a print statement or printing statement in the inner loop, the value is going to stay the same. Okay, that is the third thing we are inferring from this code. So I will sum it up. So after seeing that code, we can infer some information from that piece of code. We will see what are the different things. Actually there are 3 things. The first one is that the outer loop is the one which controls the number of rows, and the inner loop will be controlling the number of columns. And the second thing is that in a single row, if the value is keeping on changing, say when we were displaying j, the output was going like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which means in a single row the value is being modified. In that case, we know that that variable is going to get updated in the inner loop. And in the second scenario, when we are trying to display the I value, you could see that in the first row it was remaining constant, and only when we come to the second row the value got changed. Which means if this is the way our output is behaving, we can know that the variable to be displayed or variable in concern is actually updated in the outer loop. Okay, so these are something which will help to create a code when we are given a pattern. When we are given a pattern for displaying, this will be getting helpful. Okay, we will see one example also.